Shut up! Jeez. Don't fuck with me!
I mean... maybe...
Oh! Shit! Jeez! Oh! Fool!
It's fish everyone!
What the hell? What's the... Ow!
You're gonna have... Amazing! Hey!
It's finally time! Now then, I shall tell you all. At the central island of Jabberwock Island, there is a mountain with my adorable face carved into it. That, my friends, is Monokuma Rock. Once you're there, please proceed to the underground by taking... I'll see you soon!
Are you kidding me?
No way. You are right. I got it!
No way! Don't fuck with me!
Hey! Come on! Hey!
Huh?
You. Do you understand?
Wait!
What happened, sinner? Now then, let us begin!
Hey,
Well now!
Wait!
What's this? What? You masochistic mascot! Special bleeding service! See ya later!
Huh? What's going on?
Be happy!
This is the worst. Why?
What?
Hey, 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 hey! No way, no way, no way!
Stupid! Yep. However,
Welcome!
Why, you...
Don't fuck with me! Now then, let's begin with during the class trial, you will if you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. but I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Begin. I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin.
You're telling us to begin.
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fifth.
Were you even listening to the rules?
Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall? Huh?
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try where we found the body? It's very...
Then, let's start with...
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there. No, that's wrong! No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
And here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the...
Byakuya was probably killed under the...
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for... Then, shortly there...
That does make sense, but why did he go under the...
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind...
Maybe he panicked during...
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he...
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was... Crap! We will never give up! No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no...
So that's why you think it's impossible.
Then, shortly thereafter, we found...
Obviously, he was hiding.
I can prove it with this! It probably has something to do...
Knife? Oh, you mean...
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about...
Then, instead of knowing about it before...
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem...
Of course. I have... sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, Mr. Hammond must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black. It was so dark I couldn't see my food.
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No, that's wrong! No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found.
So, you say...
Yeah.
Your reasoning is out of focus. No, that's obviously wrong. Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles. If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down! Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Damn it!
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night... That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's so those goggles were planned. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Damn it!
you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what... So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Damn it!
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even... I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's... So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's... So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Damn it!
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
If you just use the killer obviously used those night... That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words! No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles. Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the
I see. When you put it...
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision...
It would be...
I see! There was duct tape left. Huh? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this? Hajime and I found this in It looks like a threatening letter someone sent.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me! The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
It doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have been just a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe.
He should have told us he received a threat.
If he had, we would have panicked. Yup.
So, he tried to... I see. Strong...
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but if Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
I see! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both...
Does that mean the killer painted?
But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen.
They had to have already known. That's why... Which means whoever set up...
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit, which means it was you! Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for 2 glasses wearers?
Not the killer.
Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pecco's height, I don't think...
I don't care about a technicality like that. Pecco's the one who tripped... Since Pecco was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Oh! Weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Since Pecco was in, she could have caused the black.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it?
Because I was not in the office, not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
No, I think Pecco is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're
It's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pecco's alibi.
It's true. Someone was, and it was finally freed up. After.
Then the person who was in the...
Everyone else besides Pecco was in the dining hall after the party.
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom.
I guess that would be...
You locked yourself in the commode?
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're...
She locked herself in the bathroom for that long?
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic... It's fine.
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get...
As soon as I stepped into the office, because of that, I was unable...
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get... Seriously?
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people...
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense.
Just what I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives? If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have...
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything with...
Now that you mention it, you brought food to the office, right?
Just a little bit from the dining hall.
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food.
I wouldn't do anything like that. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Did you eat anything?
I don't remember eating...
Now that you brought food to the office.
Just a little bit from...
There might have been some laxatives.
Taro cooked the...
I wouldn't do anything. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird.
Now that you mention it, you brought food to the office.
Just a little bit from the
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious.
I wouldn't do anything like... Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Did you eat anything?
I don't remember eating...
Now that you brought food to the office.
Just a little bit from the dining...
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
No, that's wrong.
It's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall, because Pecco wasn't the only one who ate that food.
If the food had laxatives in it,
I feel totally fine. Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing this. Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxatives.
What the fuck did you say,
There's this bicker. Let's just dismiss Pecco's stomachache. Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to... Trashy... breaker, and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head.
Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker. It does not have to be they may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters.
Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that,
Did they throw a
Maybe they used a remote...
Probably. It does not have to be they may have tampered with, or maybe they caused a power surge?
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy stink. Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that,
Did they throw a
Maybe they used a remote...
Probably. It does not have to be they may have tampered with, or maybe they caused a power surge.
I agree with that.
It's just as Mahiru said. The blackout was caused by a power... Of course, that's not a coincidence. Someone caused it. Which is why those 3 irons were arranged. And you found them right after the blackout. The irons were still on.
So by leaving those irons on and...
Yeah, it seems that's how...
Stupid fool! Hold on a second, let me...
What the heck?
You say the iron's in the storage room. That's inexcusable! If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? And that means everyone who was in the dining hall when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect. If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in the when the blackout occurred can't be a suspect. If the irons in the storage, then for the killer to... You're saying they went all the way... And that means everyone who...
Damn it!
If the irons in the storage room caused the black, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the... And that means everyone who was... When the blackout occurred can't be a suspect. If the irons in the storage room, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to the storage room? Then that means everyone who was in... When the blackout occurred can't be a suspect.
I can't back down!
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause the... If the irons caused the blackout... But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause the blackout. If the irons caused the blackout...
Allow me to cut through those words!
The irons are just one.
Air conditioner!
The timers for both air conditioners.
11:30 p.m.
I see. When the timers activated the...
Indubitably?
They probably...
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to...
Indubitably?
Regarding the energy, is she right?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet! I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. I could have reset the break.
No. The breaker in the office was built into a high area. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible.
Sounds like you don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry.
It's alright. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will, in the end, hope...
Nagito?
Huh?
Well, you have been saying this whole...
Oh, is that so? Well, for now, we found anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before. What a shame. Anyone?
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still...
Even though we have been arguing...
Fortunately, despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even... But that might be because there's no way
You're changing your...
Anyway, I have an idea about... Has anyone thought about our situation? Instead of surviving by doubting others...
Doesn't that mean...
Nagito, there's definitely...
You guys only think there's something suspecting each other like this. Let's stop this already. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do...
Me too! Stop it.
Everyone calm down. We're all friends, aren't we? There's no way one...
Then why did Byakuya...
Who cares? There are no clues that lead to the kill.
That's wrong. I think...
Did you say something?
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know.
I see.
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They used glowing paint as a mark.
No, not that. I mean the...
Let's try examining the situation. My hero's diagram might...
The diagram of where everyone was standing before...
must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
The desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could...
I can prove it with this! They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power.
Power?
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table.
And there's only one...
You're the only one! Nagito.
Me?
Judging from everyone's positions before the blackout.
Which means, the only one who could have felt their...
That's just a...
But still, you had a chance, right?
I see! Nagito, Weren't you cleaning the dining hall all? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife. That's... If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one who could have done it.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
If it was just one coincidence, it'd be fine. I wonder, is something like that even possible?
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Now that you mention it, Nagito did prepare...
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining...
I don't know if you're the killer or not.
If that's the case, that strange speech you made...
You got us to lower our guard, and tried to...
Well, just admit...
Nagito, tell me you object to this. We investigated together. You were so kind. Nagito.
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death! How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
Huh?
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was I'm the one who hid the knife under the table. I'm the one who used the power. And of course, after all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Is it just me, or...
But I never expected because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle with a twist ending like this. Yeah, just stop it already!
Don't tell me. Is this your
Lie? That's outrageous! I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. I'm too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. I've made peace with the fact that I'm lowly, stupid, and...
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood...
He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like...
Hey, Nagito! If you were...
Yep. There's nobody else on this island whose handwriting is that painful to look at.
But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place?
I think... somewhere... well... I bet if that really was my...
Are you making fun of a...
By threatening Byakuya... In doing so, Nagito was able to manipulate everyone to the scene where the murder would occur. Am I wrong?
That reminds me. Nagito was the one who suggested I guard the office.
Guarding the storage room, Nagito wouldn't have been able to use the irons.
threatening letter, along with all your suggestions. It was all a trap to manipulate us.
Yep, that's true.
Huh? What?
I didn't need to rig the drawing for cleaning.
If that's true, then how did you
I see. Well... That's right. I just trusted my luck. It's not just luck. It's true my talents suck. At the time, Hajime said I wasn't lucky. I was lucky.
Enough. More importantly, why did you kill
Byakuya was a very capable leader. It's only fitting that you symbols of hope should use his death as a stepping stone to shine. That was my only motivation.
You're not making any sense!
Fine, let's start the damn vote already.
Please! Please!
Huh?
What are you saying?
I already know that, but if it's only a little, then keep your mouth shut. Your ugly face is stressing me out. It makes me
for now?
Simply listen.
However, I won't allow this to end with mere...
So obviously Nagita!
He has already
That bastard Nagi, he killed Byakuya.
Oh, never mind. Thanks for wasting our time.
Then let's prepare to cast our votes.
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
He has already confessed.
That bastard Nagi, he killed Byakuya!
Oh, never mind. Thanks for wasting our...
Then let's prepare to cast our votes.
I think it's strange.
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
I think it's strange that...
The killer is so obviously Nagito!
I think...
The killer is so obvious...
He has already you know...
That bastard Nagi, he killed Byakuya with a knife in here!
Oh, never mind. Thanks for wasting our...
Then let's prepare to cast our votes.
I think...
The killer is so obvious...
He has already
That bastard Nagito is the one who did it! He killed Byakuya with a knife in here!
No, that's wrong! That knife might not be the murder weapon. That's what you wanted to say, right, Mikon?
What the hell are you talking about? It's...
based on the entry was on 5 millimeters in diameter?
Hey, that better be true. If you screwed up, I'll sell your fucking ass to a whore.
Hey, why are you threatening her?
Is this what you're trying to say, Mika? As long as we can't prove that the knife...
What do you say?
Hey, don't blame me.
Hey, Nagito.
Hiding?
Like, during the blackout.
Who knows?
After all this,
Jeez, the moment your back's against... What happened during the... Ugh! If you cross your eyes like this, it gives you double vision.
Don't get distracted. Our lives are at stake, you know?
Huh? Whose life is that?
Seriously, how long is it gonna take for you to understand?
Nobody can see in the dark. Don't you think that's a pretty clever metaphor? Despite the fact that it can't...
No, that's not it.
Not it? What's not it?
I can prove it with this! Even if we couldn't see what happened in the dark, I'm pretty sure someone could have heard it. Isn't that right?
Oh, real?
You were the one who told me, remember?
Everyone... Don't step...
What the hell? What's going... This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat...
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
Perhaps the breaker overloaded?
Hold on a sec. I'll go along the wall.
Such perceptive hearing. Impressive.
It's a good thing your ears are awesome because your face style figure... You've cut me deep with your knife of truth! However...
What the hell? What's going on here?
Ow!
It almost sounds like...
Well, that's... As a sign of respect, I was actually shoved out from under the...
He shoved you out?
Just as the blackout occurred. I hurried to duck under the table and grab the knife, but Byakuya, wearing his night vision goggles, caught me. That's right.
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow! After getting shoved out from under the table, I lost sight of the glowing pit. Before I realized it, the lights had come back on.
What? Are you saying you're not the killer?
From the very beginning, hiding the knife, setting up the blackout, but unfortunately, my plan failed. And all thanks to what happened after that, even I don't know.
You failed? Then you're not the one who killed...
Then we're right back to square one!
How can that be? We spit off...
But you can't give up. Rising to the challenge again and again is why...
Well now. Now then, what are you gonna do? And of course,
You're so evil! I'm Monami, and my heart is throbbing like crazy right now. The group's leader, Byakuya, got... Nope, I'm not gonna... 'Cause I believe... So do your best.
Well, if the knife isn't the murder weapon, there's no definitive proof that I'm the killer.
Shut up! We'll be the judge of that.
You say you were shoved away?
That's right. Even if a different...
But there's another reason why I don't think Nagito is the killer.
still more?
Based on what you've discussed,
Is there something wrong with that?
well, even if that's true,
Nobody's ever complimented me on my appearance before. Not even my own mother.
I'm not talking about you.
I see! Are you trying to say something like, what?
Yes! Because under the table there were even bloodstains.
If he stabbed Byakuya to...
I didn't get any blood on.
You just used something to block.
Something that might have been used to block the blood splatter. What do you think it could have been? I guess...
I can prove it with this! You're talking about the bloodstained tablecloth we found in the storage room, right?
If there are bloodstains on it, that settles it. Nagito...
But that was found in the storage room.
You mean after the lights came back on?
That's true. The tablecloth was pretty big.
Wearing a tablecloth, going under the table, hitting a knife in a blackout. That's not just impossible for someone like me.
Then, what does...
Maybe the killer didn't necessarily stab Byakuya under the table.
No, there's no mistake.
Even the inside of the tablecloth. But that doesn't mean where Byakuya got stabbed and where the...
I don't understand at all!
Really? I feel like I'm onto something like...
Under the table, but not under the table. If it's somehow possible moving forward, we should put aside all unnecessary preconceptions and just choose the answer. I think.
Never give up! The killer must have stabbed Byakuya from under the floorboards.
Under the floorboards?
The floorboards in the old building are full of gaps. They stuck the weapon through one of the gaps. If so, that means... I don't know that yet, but... The only one! Hey, Gundam, you dropped your earring in the dining hall, right?
Referring to the hell...
About that earring.
I said, are you...
About that hellhound...
Just a bit longer and I would have reduced everything, including that old... However, it's just as the old legend said. The Hellhound earring has...
Is it safe to say that that earring is the one hanging from your right ear? Huh? Could it be? Gundam wasn't wearing an earring during the investigation. And if he had it on by the time the class trial began, then that means Gundam was able to retrieve his earring from the...
So...
It's understandable, but I am different. True, this is before the might of the evil...
What should I do? I'm embarrassed. Just...
Oh! Man up and spit... Fine, I shall tell you all. One of my 4 dark devas of destruction, Mirage Golden Hawk, Jumpy, has seen beyond the chaos. A secret passage of doom leading to the underground lurked. After securing a lighter from the supermarket, I threw caution to the wind and as a result of that lonesome battle, I was able to recover the hell... Tremble with...
There he goes, blabbing about power and crap. You're ridiculous. You're just a...
Anyway, it sounds like you can go under the floorboards from the storage room.
Then that has to be how the killer did it. But the space beneath the floor is empty.
I see. If they pass through the
killer lurked under the floorboards during the party, and from there...
Are you sure?
You don't like stab, stab, stab? Should it sound more fleshy, like...
I'm not talking about... You're saying they snuck under the floorboards, but... So, was there anyone who was able to do that?
Then whoever wasn't at the party is the killer.
Who wasn't at the party again?
I didn't participate, but... I was guard... Yes! This morning...
I believe there's no need to discuss this matter further.
I was in the kitchen for a long time, but I frequently went to the dining hall to deliver my dishes.
The only... Judging from the photo I took before the... It obviously has to be him!
It's decided!
What the fuck are you saying? I'm not the killer!
Oh, really? What happened to the tough guy who was saying stuff like,
Don't mess with me! I'll fucking kill you!
See? You're making threats again.
Yep, that's right. Things are starting to get exciting.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a cockroach.
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a
And they could have stared at panties all day. Without going to the storage room in the dark.
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the...
But when the party nobody saw you. That means you have no alibi.
The culprit is self-evident.
During the party, the killer was lurking under the floor like a...
And they could have stared at without going to the storage...
Is that true, Fuyuhiko?
Don't act like I'm the fucking killer!
But when the party started, nobody saw you, you know. That means you have no alibi.
No, that's wrong!
No, Fuyuhiko definitely has an alibi. Isn't that right, Chiaki?
I saw Fuyuhiko after the party started.
Should have said that earlier, dumbass.
It's still your fault. Like, watch.
Maybe there really is a secret passage to go under...
What'd you say, motherfucker?
Oh, no!
Wow, he got chewed out, but he looks...
Regardless, it's impossible to go under the floor.
And someone definitely went under the floorboard during the party.
But walking down that dark hallway to the storage room is like trying to make Eggs Benedict with...
You're right.
What is it?
It was super...
It appeared... The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that... It's like making a seafood bowl without fish!
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with what if they used a light?
Definitely sounds impossible.
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like that... It's like making a seafood bowl without fish!
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair...
What a pain. I'm gonna... What if they used a...
Definitely sounds impossible.
The hallway was really dark during the moving to the storage room like that. It's like making a seafood bowl with a...
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Crap! The hallway was really dark during the moving to the storage room. It's like making a seafood...
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the...
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
The hallway was really dark moving to the storage room. It's like making a seafood...
Is it really not...
What if they used a string like...
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut. What if they used a light?
It definitely sounds impossible.
The hallway was really dark moving to the storage room. It's like making a seafood...
Is it really not...
What if they used a string...
Maybe there was another pair...
What a pain. I'm gonna... What if they used a light?
The hallway was really dark moving to the storage room like that. It's like making a seafood bowl without fish!
Is it really not possible?
What if they used a string like the cord?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with... What if they used a...
It definitely sounds impossible.
The hallway was really dark moving to the storage room. It's like making a seafood...
Is it really not...
What if they used a string like the...
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
The hallway was really dark during the blackout. Moving to the storage room like...
It's like making a seafood bowl without fish.
Is it really not?
What if they used a string like the cord?
The hallway was really dark moving to the storage room.
It's like making a seafood.
Is it really not?
What if they used a string?
Maybe there was another pair of night vision goggles?
What a pain. I'm gonna go with my gut.
What if they used the light? I agree with that.
I know. The killer had a light with him.
Oh, I was right? But where could they have found a light?
There was one nearby for sure. See? It's written on the kitchen's equipment list. It's the portable stove. The portable stove isn't powered by electricity. So, the killer used the portable stove.
I see. I never considered.
What kind of hole? It would be great.
Oh, I wasn't making a perverted joke already.
Repeating yourself just makes it even more suspicious.
Now then, Hajime. Well, you bet. No, that's wrong. Will you be able to... Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what said the hall was too dark to see the office? The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi could was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway. The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway.
Damn it!
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I can't back down! I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, did you forget what Kazuichi said the hall was too dark to see the office? The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his
We will never give up!
Did you forget what Kazuichi said? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony?
I can't back down! I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say?
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi... After all, he was walking near the hallway, right? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see it was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen... After all, he was walking near the hallway, right? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen...
Allow me to cut through those words! Nagito, did you forget? Or are you just pretending you forgot?
Huh? What are you talking about?
There should have been a wall that blocked light. I'm talking about the fire door in the hall. If you close it, it would... So even if there was a small gap in the door,
see.
Nagito, what are you plotting?
Fine, I get it. Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at,
You're the only one! What? What are you talking about? Of course, that's simply because. Call me chef.
if you fall to aspersions like
The future.
that's right. For the future of the culinary arts, you must face this and fight it fair and square.
You're right. Yeah, that's totally right.
So, what's an aspersion anyway? Is it yummy?
Did you know asbestos is yummy too? You should try some later.
Nagito, why are you interfering?
Let's assume that the killer used a light, and that they used the fire door to mask that light, and that they moved to the storage room and snuck under the floorboards. Then it's dark under the floorboards. You're not gonna say they shined the light.
That's right.
There's no way you can answer, right?
If that's the case, then Gundam should know.
The only thing I found was a strange liquid.
What? That sounds super! If there was a shining mark like that, and in doing so...
I can prove it with this. The mark you're talking about is the glowing paint that was applied to the knife, right?
By using the glowing paint as...
I see. The killer didn't target an actual person. They just struck the moment the glowing paint moved.
That would be the moment someone grabbed a hold of the knife.
So, the killer used the mark that I prepared for finding the knife as a mark for step. I see.
But if they...
Well, Teru...
Now. And just what did he boot?
Don't step up!
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you?
Doesn't that prove Teru?
That's right! But Teru was in the kitchen the moment the blackout occurred, right?
I thought the blackout was only in the kitchen. Of course, the hallway was dark too, but somehow...
Well, it's not that far to move along the wall.
That sounds fishy.
If I remember correctly, you can tell when a girl if you want.
No way! But I heard Teru's voice!
That's right. Teru was in the dining hall.
No, that's not it. Why do you want to keep falsely? I wanna.
You should be so proud of yourself, Hajime. Now, Hajime. Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I went to the store. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice. It's handsome, unlike his face.
Maybe it was recording or something?
Nope, definitely a live voice.
Right. As long as I have it, the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
Let me ask you, did you go to the store?
There's no way I was somewhere totally...
I definitely heard. It's handsome. Maybe it was recorded. Nope, definitely.
Right. As long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I was somewhere totally...
I definitely heard. It's handsome. Unlike his face. Maybe it was recorded. Nope, definitely.
Right. As long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
Let me ask you again. Did you go to the storage...
There's no way I went to the storage room. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice.
Let me ask you, did you go to the store?
There's no way I was somewhere totally...
I definitely heard. It's handsome. Maybe it was recorded.
Nope, definitely a live voice.
Right. As long as the fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be... I'll shoot through that contradiction. Just because we heard Teru's voice in the dining hall doesn't mean he was literally in the dining hall. Remember the floor in the dining hall? So even if you shouted from under the floor, it should have sounded...
Is that true, Teru? Can you What? Where are you from again? Hey, you guys! This guy's a major... If Teru was in the dining hall...
Well, I believe so. There's no way he could...
Huh? Was Teru...
I sure was! I was there the whole day!
Something like this shouldn't be decided by gut...
Damn right! You guys should have been deciding this on the spot with your head.
His accent is getting even worse.
However, I am not sure. I believe that he was there, and I...
No! Is there...
Why don't we consult his...
Gosh, yeah, don't be saying things like that. Don't make no sense.
Probably can. We will never give up! I can prove it with this! If you're claiming that you were in the dining hall, then you should know how Mikan was positioned at the time.
Whoa, what?
No, this is a well-tilled town. Did you recall?
There's no way it would slip from your mind.
Even Nagi.
Teru. It's lonely watching someone I admire reach the limits of their hope.
Nagito, what are you doing? Why are you messing with the...
Hold on a sec, don't go move.
Huh? But it's...
The murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet, Chef?
It's no use. Like it appears he's saying. You understand it? But it's such a sad defense.
Oh, you calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Come on, Manumi! Enough with the whimpering and trick...
He said...
Weapon, huh? It's a...
Judging from Byakuya's wound...
Also, if they stabbed from under the floor...
After all this...
Not good enough! Not good enough at all!
He said, not good enough. Fine, I got it.
Wanna do it?
He said... What a confusion!
The weapon must be the iron skewer.
Huh?
Before the party, as
So that missing iron...
Hey, Teru. Another Levine?
He's just saying random shit to fuck with us.
This school trip has a no littering rule. If he had violated it...
Also, I was on guard to...
It's probably the kitchen again.
Oh.
Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Unforgivable! I don't know. That's impossible! Unforgivable! Where would the weapon be? Shut up! I don't know. That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Unforgivable! I don't know. Where would the weapon be? We will never give up! possible? Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know! That's impossible! Ah! Shut up! I don't know! That's impossible! Paris Hilton! Nonsense! Ah! Unforgivable! I don't know! That's impossible! Ah! Unforgivable! Where would the weapon be? This is the end! Could the iron skewer have been hidden inside the... What are you saying?
That's clearly impossible.
Impossible. That's what Byakuya and I thought. But in fact, the only place you could hide the weapon was inside the food. Out of all the dishes you prepared, the only one that could hide the meat on the bone.
What now?
I'm using my right to remain.
There's no way that exists here. We need to confirm. So if we eat that tasty-looking piece of meat and...
All right. Monokuma or Monami, one of you hurry.
1 minute.
Wait, hold on a second. Time out.
What are you doing? Hurry up and...
a bit... Huh?
I'm...
A bear that... Wait. Now that damn it! That's...
I've never eaten anything like it in my... This is my. Look what came out.
Is that an iron skewer? Check it out. The handle looks like it's made of bone. Pretty clever.
The sword of destruction, encased in bone and...
Hey, Nagito?
Lisa! You're all nothing but a bunch of poor...
You don't need to translate anymore. To do that, you need to go over the entire incident from beginning to end and make...
So, we need... will never give up! We will never give up! Here's everything that happened in this case. Let's try going over the whole incident, beginning with right after the party started. Byakuya had us gather in the dining hall. He was extra cautious about a murder occurring that night. Because of it, therefore, he decided to throw a party so he could monitor us. Though one person didn't come, the rest of us assembled. But at that time, the trap set by a certain they plugged 3 irons into the outlets in the storage room, which nearly capped the power usage. Additionally, they prepared something else that would activate at 11:30 p.m. The air conditioners in the office and dining hall. Thanks to the irons maxing out the power usage, since the windows in the old building were covered, plunged the dining. But when that happened, that item was the night vision goggles. Byakuya was so concerned about a murder occurring that he brought a variety of security equipment with him. When he put on his night vision goggles, Byakuya witnessed a certain someone. He saw Nagito guiding himself. That's right. Everything up to that, the murder warning to Byakuya, the source of... While the blackout was happening, someone else, the real killer... The killer probably already knew about Nagito's plan, so they knew a blackout was... That's why the killer prepared all the items they would need to commit their crime. They needed a light source, which was provided. They needed a weapon, too. This had also been hidden in the kitchen. The long iron skewer... With the weapon and portable stove in hand, first, they closed the fire door in the hallway. Then, guided by the light, the killer... That's right, a table... With this, the killer finished their prep. They probably turned off the portable cooking stove at that point, or left it near the entrance of the door. The floor in the dining hall is full of gas, so there's no way they could have safely held a light source. But thanks to the glowing mark they painted earlier, the killer was able to... Under the table, Byakuya felt... If only he had retreated, he probably wouldn't have... He had to retrieve that knife. And at that moment... The killer lurking beneath the floorboard stabbed straight up with the iron skewer. The killer had been waiting in the dark for the moment when the glowing paint began to move. After they murdered Byakuya, the killer purposefully shouted from beneath the floorboards to make it afterward. They came out from underneath the floorboards and rushed back to the kitchen. And then, after hiding the murder weapon in the kitchen, they rejoined the group as if nothing had happened. There's only one person who would have been able to, especially if that person is someone who'd think of an unexpected way. Isn't that right, Teru Hanamura? That's what happened. How about it? Did I get it? This is a mistake. What?
it seems.
Oops! I lost control of my wild side for a well, putting that aside, now then, please pull the lever in front. Oh, just a reminder, make triple sure. If you don't vote, I'm gonna eat you up just like that. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Such heart-pounding excitement! Correct!
Yahoo! No. You...
You've got it wrong. Hey!
in that... You caught me? What? Hey! Impossible! Well... What? Amazing! No. See?
You're kidding, right? Man.
Wait, no way! Hey. See?
Don't fuck with me!
What? Amazing! Great!
That's wrong. So...
What? You're right. Hey!
However...
Whoa!
Nope. Perhaps...
What?
See?
I will guide you.
Why?
Such despair.
No way.
Someone like me? How unexpected. Man, great! Impossible! Shut up! Shut up!
Hey, huh? Yeah! What's the matter? Hey!
Hey!
Impossible!
That's... Hey!
Why you?
That is... Why?
Answer me.
I needed to go back...
Okay, I'm going now. When I come back, I think we should talk again about opening an Aoyama and Azabu location.
Oh my, you're still talking about that?
Oh, I'm serious. the Academy guarantee. So, I know it's gonna be difficult by yourself, but wait for me until then, okay?
Yes, you're right. Then I'll just have to do my best to keep the Hanamura Diner from going out of business until...
Mom, you don't have to work so hard.
I'll be fine. I won't lose to some...
That's why I need to go home! Hey!
Damn it!
Wrong! That's why I want...
Jeez! Get out of my... Well now. Extreme! Yeah! Whew.
Damn it!
How cruel.
What? face!
Such despair. What?
Please listen. Well, perhaps. Yes.
Like... Jeez.
Fine.